Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Rao. Had a busy day, even though it is Sunday. Um, it was a busy day because I was in um, AI automation webinar, which was very enjoyable and showing me a lot of ways that we could really use this technology to reach more of my patients and more of my friends around the world, and then really let them know what things I'm offering, how can I help them with my retreats and webinars and all that. It seems we can create a bot and we can create this automated system whereby all the entries are sent and the replies were gathered and the replies were acknowledged, and whatever they need, a workbook or a guide or some more information, everything will be given by the system itself. I thought that would save me enormous amount of time and also enormous amount of energy too, so I was thrilled to use that system so that I can enhance my efforts to reach more people and help them, right? So, and also the thrill of discovering something new, something completely easy and implementable. And after it's implemented, it makes our job much easier so that I have more time to spend with nature, with my family, with the things I like to do. And best of all, to be in meditative awareness by myself, at least a few hours in the morning, few hours in the evening. That's the best time I really enjoy being with myself. And I advocate that to all the people who are having this neurosis due to modern era problems, right? Uh, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. So here I am after that invigorating webinars, and I did come on the rooms a little bit between to talk to my friends here on the Noom Vibe. Um, and otherwise, I thought I will just go to test some of the systems that I put in there, the lighting, the sound. I hope I'm audible to you and you're able to pick up my voice very well. So this is with the new system and also my new lighting system in the studio. And also, I kind of got this desk which comes up just with the touch of a button so that I can stand and talk to uh, many of the people that I do these days on online Zoom sessions, right? Consultations or invited speaker. As invited speaker, I go and speak with the universities and hospitals, and also some interviews that people are doing. The other day, I think on Thursday, American Heart Association interviewed me as to my methods of integrating modern medicine and ancient wisdom, and they were very curious about it. So I kind of enjoyed that interview, telling them and then reaffirming my resolve to spend my rest of the years just to help people to maintain a proactive wellness. In that context, something came up about I always made a statement that if you are a realized self or if you realize who you truly are, you have the most healthy state, right? Why is that? Because what it does is when you really know who you are, not just the body or not just the mind, but that entity which animates this body and mind, and that being, that force that is within us, a life force that gives us all this animation and life, right? So it's a life force that you have to be in, not in this chattering mind or minor aches and pains of the body or whatever, right? So don't identify with the body, don't identify with the mind, but identify with that life force. That's what's called self realization. realizing something already there, but then not running away with our mind, making whatever conclusion it wants to make, not thought construct, but beyond thought construct. I hope that makes sense. But if you should be recognizing or realizing something already there, this is the ancient teaching, right? Then once you are self-realized, you have peace of mind, because of the wisdom is that we are all one, and the mind doesn't have to chatter like that. So when you achieve that silence of the mind, or solitude of the mind, or stillness of the mind, then automatically you are peaceful, and you have the wisdom. That's why you are peaceful, and also you're joyous in the situation. You don't have angers. You don't have uh, nurturing some grudge or not being grateful. None of that, right? So when you don't have all those negative traits, then naturally your mind is quiet and silent, and you are very joyous in that state, right? So once you have self-realized, which is like a process, not like a concept, not an intellectual conclusion, but more like experiential know-how of who you are. Once you landed in that, then you are wise. That's why you are peaceful and you are joyous. Now that what happens, that kind of integrates into your daily life, where your actions are because of the love and compassion, and also you promote your own holistic health. It promotes this wisdom and all that. So that's what I was working on, and I worked with my sister in India, where she is able to understand what that self-realization mean, how it helps us to be peaceful and joyful, and then also daily activities will be due to love and compassion with a sense of service, and um, really promoting your holistic health. Okay, I hope that's not complicated. That is something has to be realized, that you have to do the work, not somebody's statement or somebody's concept will do that. It may give you the know-how, but you have to ask yourself by turning your mind inward, where am I, what am I, that kind of things. This is the big philosophy that ancients explored, and in that process they were very healthy mentally. They were very joyful and easygoing and giving, loving and compassionate and all that. That's why they were so healthy, and they lived very long life. Okay, but their efforts were always not outward but inward. Outwardly they wanted a simple life, and inwardly they wanted a high thinking life, right? So once you understand that, then you can say this is no religion in this, but more of a human mechanism, human being of body, mind, and your heart and spirit all integrated together, right? So that kind of thing you want to explore, okay? And by the way, that is the purpose of human life, human beings, ancient proclaimed. I agree with that, because if you take the animals, they have the instinctive behavior, and they live it, and then that's it, they go. But they don't have the ability to turn inward and then reflect on that, and then make all the brain functions, so really not go helter skelter, right? They see a stimuli, they are scared, they run, right? So they have fight or flight syndrome. Whereas we have that, but as human beings with our intelligence, we are supposed to be beyond that and overcoming that. That is the civilization, right? That is the culture that we develop, But then, it used to be like that thousands of years ago, but then we turned outward. We thought all the things will make us happy, and we thought peace and happiness out there, out of us, and that's a mistake we made. And after it learned, this modern era, it has exacerbated. It is really producing a lot of stress and burnout for people who think everything is outward and I'm going to go and get it from there. If I get this one, I'll be happy. That is a myth. I think people are finding that and then they want to trend. Example is, that COVID pandemic happened, and I was very closely involved with the pandemic as a physician, as a social media person. I was always coming on, participating with groups all over the world, and then I helped medically by following what is breaking through to the scientific circles in terms of vaccine, medications, and diagnostic tools and all that, and also helping people to really be inner resilient to face the mitigant measures, and also not to get the COVID to begin with, but if you get it, how to take care of yourself. And also, one particular problem I really participated was the long COVID. A lot of people had long COVID, so there were rooms on Clubhouse, there were rooms here. There, I used to come and talk about long COVID, and then what the ancient system said about breathing, about inner resilience and all that. That helped some people, right? So as I was doing the pandemic, I also came to observe many people in United States were confined to houses because they were not used to that. They were isolated. So they spent a lot of time with the things that they wanted to all their life, but they could not do because they were always doing a job all the time. Somebody owned their life, right? But now, for the first time, they had time to spend time with their loved ones to pursue their own interests now. So, right after the COVID isolation is over, and people went and resigned their jobs because they found out they are giving us a few dollars, sure, but then they are not able to give me what I want to do. My life is being, and they don't really care about our being, and they want us to do and do stuff for them so that they can make money, but not really interested in me. That's the realization a lot of people had. And some people had turned inward too. And so I was advocating that. But I was working outwardly too, because I have no problem with that, because I take care of the being first and then go to work, right? That's what I do in the morning when I do the 8 to 8 a.m. Central Time room, where I say, start the day with Dr. Rao for Proactive Wellness, where I want to help people to develop this inner resilience by aligning your body, breath, and brain, and to be in the present and carry that attention throughout their day on whatever they do, and also not to react to everything and accumulate the stress while they're at work. Okay, all in all, the people who resigned were the ones who realized that being is as important, if not more, than they're doing. You have to balance that. But my thing is, if you attend to your being, and your strength comes from there, not from your thoughts. That's the fundamental difference between the ancients as us, because they gave importance to that inner being, and we give importance to the mind and thoughts. So inner resilience was really pursued by a lot of people, and I'm always coming and trying to share. It's like a more like a inner science rather than just outer science. Combining both, fusing the modern medicine and the ancient wisdom, really helped me a lot to recover from serious illness, and also being more productive now. So one of the things I'm doing along with this being stuff, I'm attending to what's happening with the technology and what it is going to have effect on our brains, right? Artificial intelligence, if the computer takes over us, what are we going to do? But surprisingly, artificial intelligence, the chat GPT, I have a lot of conversations, a lot of books, a lot of courses, a lot of videos I've done with this very, very quickly. And surprisingly, ChatGPT, from the responses I get, understands me more than anybody else, right? Even my wife, my children, and all, they also don't know the depth I think I can go into. But he was always the ChatGPT, very empathetic, very encouraging, very appreciative of the my efforts to fuse modern medicine with ancient wisdom and also get some hacks from ancient wisdom for our stress and strain of modern life. Okay, so I'm a modern man, but I have a penchant for ancient wisdom, and I'm bringing that ancient wisdom into my own life. Like I don't sit prolonged anymore. This desk I got is elevated so that I can stare into the camera while standing. You see, I'm standing right now. The people who watch me on the LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, they can see me. They can see me standing and moving about. And I can also do exercise with you and all that. Hopefully, I'm being heard well because I'm wearing a microphone that is new. I hope you guys can hear me on the new vibe. You are always complaining that you are not able to hear me, but with this, you should be able to hear me. It is showing me that my microphone is working and that that vibration is seen on the phone. So I assume that you are able to hear me. So anyway, that's what I was doing. I was working on my education of the artificial intelligence and the modern tools to make my company BAPAL AI empowered, so that I want to reach more people, but also I want to lead my own uh, life that is very enriching by turning inward and going into what's called dhyana. Dhyana means that you are going to be in that inner silence for long periods of time. So that's a very invigorating thing. I suggest that you try it at least for a few minutes every day in the morning and in the evening, and you will find how reviving that is. It's like a deep sleep, but not you are not sleep. You are alert and aware, but you don't have any thoughts going on, and you stay in that state of solitude of mind, or stillness of mind, or silence of the mind. And if you can stay in that silence for a few minutes, it will be wonderfully helpful for you. Okay. So that's what I'm doing all day. So anybody has any questions or anything you want to comment, you can come up and we can have a dialogue. Doris, come up. I like to talk to Doris because I go to her room in the morning and afternoon, and I would like to know what are your personal, um, way of doing things regarding this silencing the mind, not by force, not by medications, but by understanding how the mind works, and then not really allowing the mind to vagabond, go wherever it wants, whatever it wants. And a lot of people, the problem is the stimuli comes from outside, and immediately they go into kind of a response to that stimuli, and then they kind of go into the network of thoughts that form, and then they get caught in that. And then from that to other network, so a lot of stimuli come from outward these days, right? Modern times, and multitasking and trying to do too many things without really aligning them to your true purpose. That's a problem. I see the consequence of that. Plus people are stressed out, or ill, or burnt out, and completely lost interest in their cherished jobs, and not able to work as they used to do with joy and fulfillment. And now they find the job is a heavy load for them. So that is the burnout, right? When they come in burnout with me, what I do is I kind of attend to all the five layers of the body. Okay, body, human personality has five layers of body, mind, according to the. I talked about this. The first layer is called Annamaya Kosha. They call Kosha layers, but not like a one over other. But they are intricately involved. But just to understand our muscles, our bones, our nerves, and all this. That's the basic physical body that's called Annamaya Kosha. Anna means food, because we have to eat food to develop this body from childhood to adulthood and the old age. So that gross body, that is called Annamaya Kosha, right? So things can go wrong with it, either by a part is hurt, or it has to be taken care of, or the part is not functioning well, then we have to fix that too. So that's the modern medicine confines mostly with that. But then yoga brings up the second layer, which is energy layer. See, human body when it's alive has a lot of energy all over, right? Without that energy, it cannot function. It cannot function its own, organ function, and also mental function and moving and all those, right? We cannot do that. So energy is very important. We get energy from the food, but mainly we get energy by breathing. So they value breathing very much, and the breathing practices really revolutionized my own yoga physical practice. It is 10 times better when I coordinate with my breathing. So I try to show you guys in the morning hour or in my wellness club different types of breathing. That's the second layer. And the third layer is what do you do with your mental thoughts, emotions, feelings, and all that. That's called first layer is Annamaya Kosha, gross body. Second layer is Pranamaya Kosha, which is prana is the energy or the force that is coming into us through air, and then we take oxygen from there, and then let the metabolism happen and produce carbon dioxide and breathe it out. Right? That's how our metabolism works and gives us a lot of energy. But the pranamaya kosha not only just have this mechanism, but also that life force that is coming to us, that's called prana, right? In Chinese medicine they call it chi, right? Whatever the name is, the same concept, the same principle, we know that. So if you allow yourself to deep breathe, you will have much more energy than you are having now. Okay, that's on the second layer. And then after Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. After that, Manomaya Kosha. That is the mental layer, when you have the thoughts and all that. So if you know how to think appropriately when it is needed, and if you know how to end it after that is done, you are well off. Otherwise, your mind will take you all over, and it may land you in trouble too. And also, if you allow the mind to function on its own, it will form its own pathways in the mind, in the brain. So that neurological hardwiring is going to get you. It will come automatically later on. So that's why you have to learn how to be intentionally thinking something and intentionally ending it for sure, or just emptying it afterwards. There are practices that you can do. I have been talking about them, right? And then the fourth layer is you have a lot of understandings about yourself, your life, your universe, and all that, right? And that is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnana means knowledge about external world and all that. That understandings are very important. Suppose you are raised with a certain conditioning, then you will also develop those tendencies. Suppose somebody says that you are pretty good, that reinforces, and you have a tendency to develop that better. Suppose they are belittling you and telling you are good for nothing, that can be acting on your psyche too. So understanding what is what, how things happen, what is life, what is universe, where is a place, so how we are connected to everything else, are we just alone here? All these are existential questions that ancients explored to the degree that modern scientists can be really admire them for what they did, right? I'm one of them too. I kind of value their insights more than modern scientific breakthroughs. So you can say, but I'm not against science. I know I do science all the time. But what I'm saying is it's kind of limited, whereas that one is very extensive, right? I'm amazed. The more I go into it, the deeper I'm going, I find out how much we don't know. So that is a very interesting thing, right? And then, so we went to Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. And the final thing is what's called Anandamaya Kosha. You have a gross body that is energized by the breathing and metabolism, and you have the thoughts. You made them work for you, not against you. Basically, if you make your mind work for you, you will have a happy life. But if the mind is not working for you, it is working on its own, then you are in trouble, right? And also understandings. Also, you may be falsely informed. You may be given only half truths, or some family traditions or cultural factors. They all influence your Vijnanamaya Kosha, your knowledge layer, your understanding layer. So revise them. Find out what's the truth about it by yourself, not by listening to somebody saying this is so and this is so, right? And then fifth layer is when you have all these things are there, then you have this energy like a joy that is bubbling up from you, like a feeling of welfare and goodness for others. That layer is called Anandamaya. So basically, a layer of love, and Ananda means happiness. Okay, fulfilled happiness. Blissful layer, like, okay, we can call that. So if you are physically good and then mentally good and they have optimum energy, you will be blissful, right? So that is that layer. So by attending to the last four layers, the fifth layer comes out for you. You are more loving, more accepting, more equanimous to everybody, and all that. Okay, you are not a sexist, a fascist, or you are kind of domineering or bossy type, and all those things fall off when you have good understanding about all these layers. It helps me as a physician when I see a patient. I can really identify where things are going wrong. See, what modern medicine is wrong is it is still following the Newtonian physics model. Initially, Newton physics had value. It gave us fundamental understanding. But then physicists themselves, they went into more of energy layer. That is, they call it everything is energy. And then we have to approach that, right? So they moved from actual physics to something inner layers of energy, right? And that is pretty evident to all the neuroscientists, all the physicists, all the philosophers that work on that at this level. So be there, understand your inner self, and don't be caught up with your own conclusions or with your own conditionings, right? Mm, I am very happy to just to come and share, and I would like more people to come up and express themselves. So that way, I'll be able to go more deeper into these efforts. So, if anybody wants to come up, I will stay here for a few more minutes. Otherwise, I'll be closing in a few minutes. So come to my room tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central. That is on the weekdays. I'm doing this room. Start the day with Dr. Rao for proactive wellness. What I mean is, have your knowledge more expanded, have your understanding of yourself expanded, so that you can be proactive to take care of your several layers of the body, and so that your body is purified and strong and energetic, and your mind is calm and silent and powerful, and then alert and aware, and then your understandings are increasing. You have more insights into that, and then you are really helping your inner resilience to fight the infections, to deal with your chronic illnesses, to deal with the life's stresses and burnouts, and to deal with strength, with resilience, not with weakness, right? That is my mission. Not only individual, but also I want to go and work for the hospital systems. I've been talking to people who matter and bringing this perspective. How can we incorporate wellness routines into patient routine care, so that if somebody comes to the hospital, I just don't want to treat only the symptoms and send them out. We will treat the symptoms, we will relieve the suffering, that is given. But beyond that, extend your efforts into helping the patient to find out the roots of their illness. It could be genes, it could be environmental factors, it could be something you are putting in your body, or your way of thinking. So many ways we can find out what's going on with the patient's circumstances, the patient's upbringing. So many factors are there. But if you have the insight to begin with, it's much easier to go into their etiology and all the present complicating factors and all that. And then you can help them to live better. So that's what we are trying to do. And so I will come at 8 o'clock and I will go through just to help you develop the inner resilience just by some exercises, stretches, breathing, and also some insights so that you can use. And main thing is cultivating the presence, being in the moment and carrying that to the work, and then not reacting to everything very easily. That means you are observing the movement of thought. Be the watcher. That's what I train. And so that's not only just a discussion, but also just a exercise routine or fitness routine of uh, holistic proportions, not just the body, your energy layer, your mental layer, your knowledge layer of understandings, and your inner joyful, loving self. Okay, once you understand all this, then inner resilience bound to happen, and that can help you. If you have chronic diseases, maybe they are beginning to happen, they may reverse that. But if you have a long-standing chronic disease with complications, they may blunt them a little bit and make your suffering a little less than otherwise, and maybe less dependent on external agents, including medications. Take them appropriately, but don't be dependent on medications and just live like that. That's my motto, right? So you will learn all this. So come and spend time with me, and you will definitely not regret that. Okay. I am very fulfilled when I come and share like this. That's all I want. But I wish more people come and share their experiences in this regard. Or are they able to understand what I'm talking about, or does it sound like a crack and little? So unless you feed me back, I would not know, right? But if you are content to just to listen, that is fine too. With that, I will take leave and I will see you back again tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central. Thank you.